All right, guys. So today we got Tesla earnings. Tesla is sitting up a little bit today. We got Tesla quarter one earnings. Pretty big quarter, to be honest, with a lot of stuff going on. We're going to be covering the earnings release. Looking at Tesla right now, it's at 236. It had a pretty good day to start the day. Starting to pull back towards the end of the day, though. A lot of stuff is flat. I think a lot of stuff is waiting to see what happens with Tesla earnings. All right, guys. What else we got? Yeah, there we go. Let me know if you can hear the music well. We got Nvidia sitting under $100. Still hasn't broken over it or anything like that. That $100 level has been pretty strong. Yeah, it's supposed to drop right at the closing bell here, like right at the close. All right, guys, and look at AMD dipping down a lot, Palantir dipping down a lot after run. Most things ran up the first half of the day, had some pullbacks, but mostly ran. Most stuff is green. Almost all blue chip stocks, aside from maybe Nvidia, look like this, where we ran up the first half, second half we're kind of dipping down. Apple's been on a slightly green day, but you see Tesla went up and now it's kind of dipping back down some. All right, okay. There's a couple things to talk about. Here's some big numbers in market context based on recent reports and analyst expectations for Tesla. All right, so here's a couple things. Number one, quarter one 2025 performance, which is already released data. Total vehicle deliveries were down 13% year over year compared to 386,810 in quarter one of 2024. They came in at 336,681. So quarter one deliveries down for Tesla. They were down 32%. Again, still talking about quarter one vehicle deliveries 2025. They were down 32% quarter over quarter compared to 495.6 thousand in quarter four of 2024. They missed the analyst consensus estimates, were generally around 377. They showed 336. So by a decent margin, and they represent the lowest quarter deliveries in approximately 3 years. Now we got these quarterly delivery numbers. I think they were like early May, if I remember correctly. Maybe maybe they were April 1st or April 2nd that these numbers came out. Yeah, they were April 1st or April 2nd, if I remember correctly. In Model 3 and Y, deliveries were at 328K, down 13% year over year. Other models like the SX and Cybertruck deliveries came in at just under 13,000, down 24% year over year. And total vehicle production numbers came in at 362,000. 362,000 total vehicle productions, down 16% year over year compared to 433 in quarter one. Production outpaced deliveries by approximately 26,000 vehicles. In terms of expectations here, we'll put this up on screen. In terms of expectations, let's put this up. Tesla earnings are scheduled for 4:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tesla already scheduled 4:10 Eastern Standard Time. EPS expected at 40 cents. Analyst consensus, about 40 cents. Revenue expected at 21.3 billion. It would represent a year-over-year decline of roughly $1 billion, which is 4 to 5%. 21.3. We'll put this up on screen so you could see it. There's the numbers for Tesla, basically. EPS scheduled for 40 cents. There we go. And again, look at NVIDIA come down. We got Tesla up here. We're going to see what that one does, too. Hello from Romania. What's up, brother? I don't play Fortnite, that's for sure. Here, let's do a poll. Does Tesla beat or miss? So the earnings specifically are supposed to drop at 4:10 Eastern Standard Time, so in like 45 minutes. But they could honestly be released anytime after the closing bell. So in like 30 minutes, they could be released anytime after the closing bell. The call is scheduled for 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. So we got some time. It looks like most people think they're going to miss their earnings as well. I heard a lot of people this morning think that and we're going to put a full breakdown. Yeah, so the Cybertruck ramp, commentary on production rate, energy storage growth. We got the Robotaxi, FSD updates. All right, look at AMD. So AMD just technically went red on the day. We got some other earnings that are releasing live after the bell too. So we got let's see what we got. We got Tesla. We got ENPH, man. I haven't honestly heard much about ENPH lately. It's definitely been less hyped. Yeah, people are scared about this for sure. Seeing a pullback? Yeah, it's definitely possible for a pullback. All right, so again, deliveries 336 missed. Here's a full breakdown that we're going to post on our x.com page, breaking all of this stuff down. All right, so we just posted a list on our X.com at Beginner Trades if you want to give me a follow of all the known stuff. We got quarter one known data. Deliveries came in again 336. Production came in at 362. The question is, what are the big stories to watch for during their earnings call and report? Metrics. Apple dipping down some here too. Tesla robots. Honestly, Tesla's not looking terrible though. I mean, look, it's at 236 today. It is green on the day. It did go up. So like it's getting there. Okay, so the automotive slowdown in demand health. The people want to know if this is going to influence the market, right? Because the whole market's been effectively crashing for the last couple months at least. And a lot of people are worried this is going to exacerbate that problem of kind of market weakness. Tesla delivery numbers came in light. Quarter one deliveries already reported a big miss at 336, down 13% year over year. This raises concerns about demand versus production, like Model Y. You want to pay attention to this earnings call. You want to pay attention to automotive revenue, how it compares year over year and quarter over quarter. Inventory levels, how much did inventory increase given production at 362,000? Exceed deliveries, commentary on inventory management. Regional performance, so you want to pay attention to any specific details on demand and sales trends in key markets like China, Europe, and the U.S. Did Tesla see changes in order inflow during quarter one, potentially related to competition and brand perception from all the political nature of, their CEO? People also want to look to see if they're profitable under pressure. This EPS graph, if we take a look at it, right? So like this EPS graph for Tesla. Now, to be fair, right? Like to be fair, this is one of their weaker seasonal quarters. So this is one of their weaker seasonal quarters if we look at Tesla. The last time we were in quarter one of 2025 or 2024, here's quarter one 2024, we showed 34 cents a share EPS, 34 cents. So this is the year over year EPS metric that you can look at, 34 cents year over year in quarter one of 2024, which again is their worst metric by a large margin. We can look at revenue in the same way, where they're expecting like 35 to 40 cents a share. And if we take a look at revenue in the same kind of graph here, here is quarter one revenue. You can see how low it is relative to all the other revenues. Like, look, so here's quarter one. It came in at 21.3. What are they expecting today? 21.8. So they're expecting a slight increase. But again, this is their worst quarter. At least it was last time. Here's quarter one here, pretty low. But at the time, it was actually pretty good, but it was a pullback. So usually quarter one is a pullback quarter. Here's their last quarter one right here. Quarter one of 2024. The rest of them were growth, but... Energy storage growth as an offset, major bright spot. Deployments already reported strong. Can its financial contribution significantly cushion the automotive weakness? We're going to see. So metrics to watch for this: energy generation and storage revenue. How strong was year over year growth? Consensus at 3.1 billion, implying plus 90% year over year. Energy generation and storage gross margins. Did margins remain strong in the segment? FSD and robotaxi is obviously always a pretty big story. With the automotive growth slowing, the narrative around AI, FSD, and robotaxis becomes even more critical for Tesla, of course, and their valuation and future outlook regarding that. Robotaxi launch confirmation. Will they stick to the June 2025 Austin launch timeline? FSD unsupervised availability, timeline for release to personally owned vehicles, progress updates on FSD unsupervised, FSD take rate, revenue recognition, any commentary on how their revenue is being booked or recognized, especially with potential international launches and FSD licensing as well, on updates and discussions with potentially other automakers is going to be key for Tesla here as well. Product roadmap and future growth, affordability model, timeline. People are still waiting to see if they're on track for a affordable model for 2025. They talked about the first half or mid-year mentioned previously, so we'll see if they stay with that. Cybertruck ramp, current production rate, demand picture, path to profitability, and volume in the Cybertruck. And then a lot of people talked about this in chat. The Optimus robot is an interesting narrative for here. Progress update, pilot production numbers, potential commercialization. How are they navigating competition, tariffs, economic uncertainty, and brand perception right now is probably the biggest thing that people are waiting for. And again, with Tesla reporting kind of lower numbers, yeah, you want to pay attention to this. All right, yeah, and we have really until the end. We're just going to put the timer up for the end of the the market close, which is in about 22 minutes or so. And we don't know what this is gonna look like, honestly. These long trend lines sure make nice trades. Yeah, I mean, look at NVIDIA breaking down, though, man. NVIDIA is down. If we take a look at, the SPY or Q, it's fading down, too. But a lot of them look very similar. That's why I think Tesla's important, because, look at Tesla and then look at the SPY right now. We'll see how this influences it, but very similar kind of movement pattern here for both of these. I'm already short on Tesla. Tesla $200 support. If Elon starts tweaking about robots, yeah, we'll see, bro. I don't know what he's gonna do there. I really don't. Yeah, we got 20 minutes until. The question I have with the robotaxi is are people gonna be able to buy it? Hey, thank you, Kay, for the donation, brother. Thank you, sir. Are people gonna be able to buy these robotaxis and then use them for business purposes? That's what I want to know. I think that's what a lot of people want to know. Are you going to be able to allow your car to kind of go around and pick people up and drop them off as a Uber style thing? Are they going to work in conjunction with Uber, or are they going to basically be their own Uber? I think either one of those things could work, but again, it's a big day, honestly. Tesla's a train wreck near term, they say. I'm reading an article. I'm not agreeing with that. I'm just saying it's an article. I mean, it's definitely down a lot. So a poll found that a majority of respondents think that Tesla will miss consensus estimates for the quarter. So most people think they're going to miss. And honestly, looking at my poll here, 75%. 3 out of 4 people think they're going to miss their earnings today. What's up, Sam? Yeah, I'm also curious about Rivian. We got Enphase and some other stuff going live too, but put this down. Maybe make it like this. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting time right now too, man. I'm looking at some other data here, but all right, so the White House says there are 18 proposals on paper for trade deals. 18. White House says that its trade team is meeting with 34 countries this week to negotiate new trade deals. All right, look at Tesla pop up a little bit here. Look at it. It's at 237s right now. Lots of talk, nothing to show. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it's been. Hope you don't mind my recent poetry contributions. I saw him, man. I saw him. I just didn't have time to really cover him. But I appreciate contributing to the Discord, brother. It's all good. Sell all Tesla and Boeing stock now? I don't know, man. Do you guys think so? Last year, Tesla sold 2,800 Cybertrucks on their first quarter compared to this year at 6,406 Cybertrucks sold. Yeah, I mean, and that seems good, right? But last year they weren't as accessible, as well as Cybertrucks were basically double the price, you know, versus last year. Like last year it was $200K for a Cybertruck or whatever. And so this year it's just noticeably less, of course. Yeah. So Hertz Rental was dumping Tesla. Yeah. The problem I have with Tesla is this, right? Like, the Tesla does their earnings call an hour and a half after their earnings are released. I hate that. I don't like that at all. Like, I wish they would just do it 30 to 40 minutes afterwards. Then I can cover both. All right, so Warren Buffett now effectively owns with Berkshire Hathaway 4.6% of the entire U.S. Treasury bill market. 4.6%. Basin is set to speak tomorrow at 10 a.m. on the state of the financial system. He says negotiations with China will be a slog. Politico is now reporting that it may take months to reach trade deals, and stocks have paired gains since Basin's earlier comments about de-escalation with China. Fartcoin moving up. U.S. Treasury Secretary President sees de-escalation with China and situation unsustainable. Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to get a deal done. But who knows? Tesla up to 237s right now, 237s. We got 15 minutes until the closing bell. Still got about... Tesla, they're technically scheduled for 4:10 Eastern Standard Time. 4:10 Eastern Standard Time. We also have Google earnings going live Thursday. We got like Boeing, AT&T tomorrow morning. Wednesday, Thursday. I'm looking at these now. Wednesday we got Intel and Google. That might be big, but... All right, guys. SPY's starting to head back up, though. Let's see if we got a reason for it here. All right, so AMD back, Apple back, Tesla back up some, Meta back up some, Amazon back up some, Netflix lagging behind a little bit, but Google back up to 154s. Apple heading towards $200 a share. Apple's had a great day, honestly. But Tesla has the ability to just dump everything down crazy. I'm surprised Hertz is still around. I say earnings beat. So do you think they do better than expected EPS and revenue? You know, here's the problem with earnings is that a company can have better than expected EPS, better than expected revenue, better than expected guidance and drop 5%. You know, like that's my issue with earnings calls is that like they can do wildly better than expected and still go down here. And so that's what I'm nervous about, but we'll see. You know, we'll see what happens. So there's this, I know on my phone they have this AI app that will literally look at like breakdown. Hold on, let me see. All right, so we're starting to head back up. Apple at 199.20s, AMD at 85s. See if I could figure out. There's some type of AI app that lets me like break down videos. Oh, hold on, this might be it. Okay, so maybe this isn't it. All right, guys, we're headed up to 238s. Look at the SPY up to 527s right now. So the market's honestly coming back some here. No, that's not it either. Market's honestly coming back some. Let's see if it holds. I hope it does, dude. I hope the market comes back. I'm not really confident it will, but this is it right here. Okay. Yeah, so I have this about the White House press secretary. Yeah, so I see this about the White House secretary doing something. Let me see. So, and again, Tesla already scheduled for a 410. Honestly, I'm just kind of nervous because they've missed so much metrics. Like, they missed deliveries. They missed production numbers. They've been really political. And the issue that I have is, like, look, a lot of the time, people who buy EVs are not really... not really the people that buy EVs, dude. Like, the people that buy EVs are usually not, you know what I mean? Are not on the same political side as Elon. And so that's what I'm worried about. All right, here goes Tesla dipping down some. Let me pull up my chat again. Sorry, guys. Bear representative, where are all the bears from this morning? Hibernating? Yeah, maybe. I mean, most things are green, but it's not like super green enough to celebrate, I think, yet. So, like, I don't know if it's green enough to celebrate at this point in time. You know? Not yet. All right, we're at 236s. Missed, but running. All right, so I'm generating some flashcards. So again, the press secretary Caroline Leavitt provided an update on the trade war between China and the U.S., indicating tensions might be easing. And so I'm generating the summary right now. This ended not that long ago. And again, Tesla at 410 is scheduled. I'm showing 35-cent EPS. What do you guys think the EPS is going to show up? That's what they're expected at 35 cents EPS. Revenue is at 21.85, so just under 22. Honestly, they haven't improved much, though, if we're being honest. But yeah, Caroline Leavitt indicated that tensions between the U.S. and China could be de-escalating with 18 proposals for potential trade deals from various countries. U.S. economic officials are scheduled to meet with 34 countries this week, emphasizing the importance of China in the ongoing trade discussions, stated that the admin is optimistic about a trade deal with China, noting that the ball is moving in the right direction. Of course they're going to say this, though. Despite the optimism reported that negotiations have not started yet, there's hope for a deal. Then they pivoted to the Federal Reserve Chairman independence. They addressed the ongoing tensions between President and Jerome Powell, highlighting the dissatisfaction the president has with the Fed's actions, which he believes are politically motivated. The president has expressed a desire for lower interest rates. National Economic Council Director Hassett has questioned the Fed independence, stating that their decisions may not be the best interest of the economy. I don't know, man. They're worried about inflation over there at the Fed. The numbers are technically scheduled for 4:10 in about 15 minutes, but who knows, man? You don't know when they're going to drop. White House will say anything to calm anyone? Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I'm sipping this coffee, but the only reason yeah. I mean, again, I'm not saying I agree. You guys know me. I'm very politically neutral. All right, so SPY is getting close to these highs here. Market closes in 5 minutes here. 5 minutes. Again, who knows when the actual numbers for Tesla are going to be releasing here. 3M flags 175 million annualized impact from tariffs on products not under USMCA. Aluminum, steel, and other reciprocal actions. And again, here's some stuff you want to pay attention to for this. Okay. There's some stuff you want to pay attention. Gold reversing. I don't know, man. Gold's been breaking all-time highs, so even if it reverses a little bit, I don't think it's like the end of the world scenario. All right, guys, we got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. All right, we're at 237s. SPY at 526s, 527s. But yeah, some metrics you want to pay attention to. Delivery numbers did miss. Some stories you want to listen to during the earnings call. Automotive revenue, what it looks like today versus year over year, last year, same time. How much did inventory increase given production coming in pretty low at 362,000? Did they exceed deliveries? Commentary on inventory management. Regional performance in the landscape of the tariffs going on for Tesla is incredibly important. Like, regional performance is really important. China, Europe, US, how they're looking there. Did Tesla see change in order flow during quarter one related to brand perception from the political nature of their CEO? And what that means under all the tariff news and everything going on, people are going to be looking at their gross margins and their regulatory credits, excluding regulatory credits. I mean, this is arguably the most critical metric. Will it fall significantly from quarter one's 15.9%? Some analysts expect 13% or less. And if that happens, that's one of the metrics that I think is going to influence Tesla's reaction here is, again, specifically their gross margin for automotive, what that looks like. Again, if it comes in low, 13% or less, could stem from problems. Quarter fours was at almost 16%. Overall operating margin, how well did Tesla manage operating expenses? GAAP, non-GAAP EPS, again, expected 35 cents, 40 cents a share. Average selling price, did it hold up, increase, or decrease? That's what you want to, these are all just different metrics that you want to pay attention to. We got 3 minutes left. Yes, Sam, you can. Scott Bassett is an economist, but Milton Friedman, yeah. If I make enough money from selling Tesla today, I'll buy everyone in chat a beer. Hey, good luck, bro. Gold finally reversing? I don't know, man. All right, hey. We got 2 minutes. 2 minutes until the closing bell hits, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do. We had a pretty good day trading. I mean, we lost our 13-day green streak. It's over. We locked ourselves out, actually. So it is what it is. Very small loss, but the green streak is over. Honestly, that's a hard streak to continue, man. As much as I want to continue it, I'm not going to take massive risks just to continue that green streak. So now we can focus a little bit better. All right, guys, we got a minute and a half until the closing bell. And again, Tesla numbers are technically scheduled for about 11 minutes from now. 11 and a half minutes. Robotaxi launch, another story you want to listen to. They said originally like June 2025, Austin, for the timeline. I don't think they're going to stick to that. Do you guys think they're going to stick to the original Robotaxi launch? I couldn't imagine they are. If they do, I think their stock might go up. And like if they announce that they are, June isn't only a couple months away. If they announce that they are, that's great. They might run. If not, we'll see. FSD unsupervised availability. Watch for that. They're licensing maybe for FSD. Cybertruck, where that's at. The affordable model. Robotaxi, the affordable model for Tesla. Cybertruck updates. FSD updates. Gross margin for automotive. Key metrics here, guys. Key metrics. We got 30 seconds left. Timer's a little bit early. I'm going to schedule this for when they... Again, these numbers could drop anytime now. Anytime. To be completely honest. But I'm going to go ahead and schedule this for when they technically said they're going to drop, which is in about 10 minutes. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and schedule this for when they said they're going to drop, which is, again, about 10 minutes. I can't remember if Tesla's usually on time with this or not. I don't think they are. All right, and here's the closing bell just now. So there's the market closed. Okay, so the market is closed now. Now we just got to sit tight, wait for the earnings to come out, and see what that looks like. Are they always late? I don't know. I don't know if they're late. Tesla, sometimes it's early, I think. NVIDIA is late, usually. So NVIDIA late, Tesla early is what usually it is. But who knows? Who knows, man? They might be late, too. It's honestly better if they're late for me because it allows my viewers to kind of pick up a little bit, but... Apple at 199.70s. Tesla earnings technically scheduled 4:10 Eastern Standard Time. It might be in big yellow letters on the screen. It could be. I'm not saying it is. It might be. Could be. Not saying it is. And so we got some other stuff that's scheduled to release earnings we'll take a look at. We can look at... Nothing really dropped right at 4 o'clock. We did have some stuff drop at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4:05, but nothing really released at 4. So we got ENPH, which is probably the second biggest company out of this earnings release today. Pretty small day, to be honest, outside of Tesla. But we got ENPH at 4:05, in about 3 or 4 minutes. You'll know when Tesla numbers are coming out because you'll see some big reactions to their price. Big reactions. And nothing yet. We'll see what they do. Here's Tesla stock. We can put a Tesla long-term graph up. Here's like an hourly chart. And we're waiting. Let's see what we get. Yeah, we had a 13-day green streak. I'm happy about it. You know, I can't really complain. I lost it today. The green streak is over. But yeah. Yep, I'm straight. All right, guys. So Tesla earnings could be released anytime now. Sorry, my wife came in here talking. You know my wife's timing. Just great timing. We got a little bit under 1,000 here. Still waiting. Again, we're technically supposed to have 5 minutes left. I think this is the most negative poll result in the history of this channel. Yeah, I mean, most people think we're going to miss, and usually with stocks, it's kind of the opposite. But I think a lot of people are worried about Tesla earnings. Yeah, I think a lot of people are worried about Tesla earnings, you know, and how their overall influence is going to be on the market. Still waiting, though. Still got to wait. All right, still waiting. We haven't really moved. Yeah, we got the earnings call. The earnings call is scheduled for an hour and a half away, though. That's so long away from their earnings call. I don't know why. They're so far away. Like, I don't know why Tesla always does this too for some reason. I see a lot of Rivians in my area as well. Yeah, definitely the top 3-ish most one-sided poll in the world right now. No, their EPS is about the same as what they were last time. So Tesla's EPS is expected at 35 cents. Actually, they might be lower. Let me see. Oh, there's Tesla's numbers. They are out. Look at this. I don't know if they're out. I don't know if this is Tesla releasing yet, but let me see. I see Intuitive Surgeries. Let me make sure. I know one place I can always check. That's a big pop, but you never freaking know why the pop is happening here. Let me make sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm not showing it. They're out yet. Look at this drop, though. 233s, 234s. Again, Tesla. Okay, so Tesla ended up posting Q1 adjusted EPS of 27 cents. They expected about 40 cents. Q1 revenue of $19.34 billion. They expected $21.37 billion. We'll revisit our 2025 guidance in our second quarter update. So they didn't even provide guidance numbers here for Tesla. And so again, they didn't even provide guidance numbers here for Tesla. And honestly, they kind of underreacted to this. Again, quarter one adjusted EPS 27 cents. They expected 40 cents. Quarter one revenue 19.34 versus 21.37 expected. I'll put those numbers up on screen. Again, big miss on everything. They missed literally every metric and didn't report guidance. I'm honestly really surprised they're not down this much. They're not down more. There's the numbers in chat right there. We'll put the numbers on the screen. I'm genuinely surprised Tesla is not down more than they are right now. This is a big miss. I mean, yeah, it could be already priced in. Let's see what the other metrics show here, guys. Give me a second. All right, so I'm looking at their shareholder deck. All right, again, sales came in at 19.34 versus 21.35 expected. I'm trying to see what their gross margin is for automotives right now. Hold on. Total gap gross margins at 17, or wait, quarter one at 16.3%. Operating margin 2.1%. Total gross gap 16.3%. Where's the automotive gross margins? Okay, services, energy. And it said April, Texas, operating margin 2.1%, adjusted EBITDA margin 14.6%. So we're going to put these metrics up on screen here. We're kind of looking at this now. I'm honestly genuinely surprised they're not down more than they are. Look, there's the quarter one operating margin, 2.1%, adjusted EBITDA margin at 14.6%. EBITDA means earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Again, they're at 237s right now, 238s. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a bad report for them, but they're honestly not really super negatively impacted here. Operating income decreased 66% year over year to $0.4 billion, resulting in a 2.1% operating margin. Operating income was primarily impacted by reduced vehicle ASP, decline in deliveries, increase in operating expenses by AI and other R&D projects, offset by a decrease in SG&A, growth in energy generation storage, lower costs associated with Cybertruck production ramp, lower cost per vehicle, higher regulatory credit revenue. So they said in quarter one, we accomplished an industry first, simultaneously changing over production lines across all factories for the world's best-selling vehicle, the Model Y. The Tesla team successfully ramped our production lines across 4 factories while managing supply chains across 3 continents without any major disruptions, demonstrating the advancement of our operational and supply chain management capabilities. AI is a major pillar of growth for Tesla and the broader economy and key to our pursuit of sustainable abundance. Furthermore, AI infrastructure is driving rapid load growth, which along with traditional utility customer applications is creating an outsized opportunity for our energy storage products to stabilize the grid, shift energy when it is needed, and provide additional power capacity. While the current landscape with tariffs will have relatively larger impact on our energy business compared to automotives, we are taking actions to stabilize the business in the medium to long term and focus on maintaining its health. Uncertainty in the automotive and energy markets continue to increase as rapidly evolving trade policy adversely impacts the global supply chain and cost structure of Tesla and our peers. This dynamic, along with changing political sentiment, could have a meaningful impact on demand for our products in the near term. We remain committed to expanding our business model to include delivering autonomous robots across multiple form factors and use cases powered by our real-world AI expertise. In the face of near-term profitability hurdles, the low-cost, localized manufacturing base that we have built provides advantages in delivering the best product at the right price to customers globally. We continue to make critical high-value investments while maintaining a strong balance sheet during this uncertain period. So that's what they said. So, yeah, I mean, quarter one, Total automotive revenue came in at under 14 billion here. So look at this. Inventory down drastically year over year. Let's see what Tesla's doing. Yeah, so we're starting to creep up some too. Yeah, so we're watching to see what happens here with the earnings play. A lot of people were worried this was going to tank the stock market, but honestly, with a miss on EPS, a miss in revenue, not reported guidance until next quarter, Tesla's honestly not really reacting the worst here. So they're not reacting the worst as they could, you know. Like, they could be worse here. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, guys, I'm looking at their adjusted EBITDA margin was 14.6% for quarter one. Not as bad as some people were worried about, but still not good. And again, look at Tesla start to bounce back. It's at the 240 level. Still coming back up some here. Says that, again, Tesla says they will revisit fiscal year 25 guidance in quarter two. Says it has sufficient liquidity to fund product roadmap, long-term capacity expansion plans, and other expenses. Says plans for new vehicles, including more affordable models, remain on track for start of production in the first half of 2025. That might be what's dragging them up. If they start doing the affordable model, if they still do the robotaxi event in the 2025, like they said earlier, obviously that might benefit them. But again, they missed EPS, they missed revenue. Again, the numbers ended up showing 27 cents. That's a big percentage miss here. A big percentage miss. Again, I'm not really confident in Tesla. I honestly think it could turn to the downside. Yes, the earnings are out. I mean, the earnings have been out for the last 10 minutes or so. The call is in an hour. Yeah, I'm curious about the robotaxi. They talked about it last year. I'm curious to see what they're going to do now. What he says is more important than the numbers, though, I believe. Yeah, maybe. I like Tesla long term. I think Tesla's fine long term. Personally, not an investment professional, though. I'm not liable if you lose money. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Do not copy me. Yeah, so Ismail, we already have the numbers. They're on the big yellow letters on the screen, sir. But, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, so did Enphase release their numbers too? Let's see if we find anything here. So Capital One posted their numbers. Amazon and Walmart sellers hoard goods in Canada to wait out tariffs, according to Financial Times. Intuitive surgical equipment came in with numbers. I saw a post that said the auto industry urges the current administration not to impose new tariffs on auto parts, saying it will lead to higher prices and lower sales, according to Reuters, citing a letter. Sam Altman stepping down from OKLO as chairman. Where's Enphase's numbers, though? Isn't Enphase supposed to release? Tesla says, while the current tariff landscape will have a relatively large impact on our energy business compared to automotive, we are taking actions to stabilize the business in medium to long term and focus on maintaining health. They says the Cybercab will continue to pursue unboxed manufacturing strategy and is scheduled for volume production starting in 2026. 2026. Okay, so it ain't gonna be this year for the Robotaxi. It's gonna be next year. So they did push it back. Yeah, so, well, it's not good, guys. It's not good. Yeah. Bristol Myers announces top-line results from Phase 3 ARISE trial evaluating as an adjunctive treatment to atypical antipsychotics in adults with schizophrenia. Yeah, and again, guys, like, I don't know if I'm going to do the actual earnings call because, honestly, the earnings call is not for an hour and 15 minutes away. Like, I'm not going to sit here for an hour and 15 minutes. It doesn't make any sense for me to do that. We'll be back Thursday for Google earnings. We'll be back tomorrow, of course, for markets. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to hang out here, and it's going to take too long. But again, if you want to check out Top Step, great way to help support the channel. Check them out. I'll put the link up one more time. If you want to learn to day trade, most day traders lose. Doesn't matter what course you take, who you follow. Most day traders are going to lose, in the beginning especially. Regardless of what platform they use, who they trade with, most day traders lose. Instead of losing tons of money, thousands of dollars, limit your risk. Try a funded account program. Top Step gives you a $50K demo. If you can make $3K in profit on that demo without losing $2K first, following their rules and conditions, they fund you $50K with a 90% split. If you fail it, you're out $50. It's the best of both worlds. 90% is pretty similar to funding your own account. But if you fail, you're out $50. It's the best of both worlds. It's limited risk. I can't guarantee you're not going to lose money because almost every day trader loses money. But usually it's a lot cheaper to lose here. Learn in a structured environment. If you're good enough to pass it, you get a 90% split anyway. And they've paid out millions, hundreds of millions, fund thousands of traders. Just a great way to learn. But I'm biased because I get paid by them. But if you want to check them out, I'll put the link up. Great way to help support the channel. And again, this week's kind of slow for economic reports. It's kind of boring. We don't have a lot of stuff going on. It's kind of slow. It's kind of dull. Tesla didn't even really move from their earnings. There's the link right there in chat if you want to check them out. And then, again, I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great day.